Good evening, everyone. How are we doing again? It's Grant, and I'm here with another little video. Um, Something that I think is pretty important for just about anyone, but especially important for young to middle-aged people like ourselves, like me, and that is saving. Um, you hear more often that many older people and older generations, our silent generation, our baby boomers. Many have done really well, and many have not done so well when it comes to saving. And many people didn't save enough they essentially outlived their expectation, and either their money didn't last or they just didn't save enough, whatever the reasons. But um, so I think it's important for people today to realize that the importance of savings and why we need to be focusing on that now and not later. I don't want to get too deep into this, but um, saving money sometimes can be hard because maybe we don't make a lot of money, or maybe the money we do like to make, we like to keep with us, or it's a hard enough time making ends meet, or paying bills, just everyday life. I mean, I get it. Probably everyone does. Probably everyone has experienced that at some time in their life, and savings was at the back of their head and not very important to what was going on in their life right now. But so I want to talk about savings and why we need to be thinking now. And with technology, saving money today is probably easier than it's ever been. I remember when I was a kid, the first thing I ever got was a savings account. So, go down with your parents to the local bank, you give them 25 bucks, and they set you up an account, give you this paper register, and your money just sits there. Today, it's as simple as going online, whether that's your own bank that you're already established with. There's limitations, obviously, but you can still go to your local bank and open a standard checking account pretty much just like you always have. But there's a lot of companies out there that have apps, savings apps, that give you real-time access to your money and can view pretty much all of your accounts and can kind of help you manage money if that's what you were looking for. So it's really easy to get started, and a lot of them will do it automatically and just do the work for you. You just have to go through the motions to get there. But it's important to save because nobody wants to work forever. I mean, I'm probably going to say a lot of obvious things here, but I don't want to work forever. And I'm sure you don't either. And as we get older, it's probably important to note that you're not going to be able to work forever. So we kind of have to set money aside for our future. And I don't want to be a naysayer or a doomsayer, but I think a lot of people our age really can't be very confident in what Social Security would give us in the future. Well, I guess it's going to take a long time to figure out if that will ever happen, but it's best to be prepared to not maybe need that money. But like I was talking about, many types of savings out there: traditional savings accounts, certificates of deposit. Interest rates are real low right now. Interest rates have been low since the Federal Reserve Bank started cutting interest rates to help after the 2008 global financial crisis. So that has really not done a lot of things for savings accounts, because when interest rates are low, while that's great for buying a house, but that affects things like savings accounts and CD rates as well. So banks just aren't giving a lot of interest to hold your money, so they can lend it out. But it's still, a CD is just as safe as it ever was. It's just not paying as much as it used to. Um, Other types of savings, 401k, like retirement plans, 403bs for our teachers. You could even have Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs. Sorry about the neck scratching. Um, Whatever. And what what's good for you might not be good for someone else. And um, in a couple of future videos, maybe I'd like to talk the difference about traditional or Roth IRAs. What works best for some may not work for all. Me, I'm kind of a Roth IRA guy because um, I like to deal with things that are in front of me. So when it comes to my IRA, I'm thinking, well, I have the money now. Let's pay the taxes now. So maybe I would have more money in the future. If I had traditional IRA, I wouldn't pay tax. It's tax deferred, so I wouldn't pay tax on it now, but I will definitely be paying it when I withdraw when I'm older. So me, I just kind of see it as let's pay it forward now. So then when it's time to withdraw, maybe a little bit more money then. It may not be the best argument, but it works for me. Does it work for you? I don't know. But there's a couple apps out there, and I just kind of Googled these. So nothing, I'm not endorsing or, excuse me, saying yes or no to any of these, but just a couple I found. Mint, it's kind of a whole money management app, or they have their own website as well, and they can give you guides and tips on how to save money. Something called Acorns. Acorns is a little different. I had an Acorns account once, but ended up getting away from it. It was kind of fun because with Acorns, you commit to giving them so much money, kind of based off of transactions off of a debit or credit card account. So if I spent $1.87 on a Mountain Dew, it would round it up to $2, and it would take that 13 cents and invest it for me. And I could invest it in, you don't really get to choose. You just get to choose your level of risk: low risk, medium risk, high risk, extreme high risk, whatever. So that was kind of neat that you could invest like that, but really didn't have a lot of risk because we're talking pennies or cents on transactions. But it did add up. I mean, over a year after all the transactions, I probably had over $100 in there, plus my gains, which were probably minimal. But not to get too caught up in that, but Acorns is one. And sometimes if you think about it, those cents can add up, but a lot of times if that excess change in our transactions was taken out, we might not ever miss it. $100 over the course of a year is probably not much, probably not much money. One I like to use is called Albert, and they actually just launched a new kind of service where you can text them financial questions and they will respond. And I've tried it and it works. And they ask for a monthly donation to that, and you can actually opt out of not donating, but they do ask for a small donation for their services. And I think it's worth it. It's I give them, I think, $1 a month or whatever. They just take that out of my account. And actually, they have trackable savings goals inside the app, and you can automatically say, hey, if I have the money, I want you to take $50 out a week and set it in a rainy day fund or a savings goal or whatever. And it's kind of neat because if for whatever reason you're low on cash that week, an emergency popped up, or you're coming short to payday, it's going to see that you don't have the money or have a lot of money, so it's not going to drain you. It's not going to drain your account that way. So I think that's a pretty good app. That one was Albert. I've had good success with it. A couple others are envelopes, not envelopes, envelopes, just the letter M, envelopes. And another one I found was Good Budget. But just to kind of recap here, and hopefully I can do some more videos later on some specific savings type engines or drivers, but it might seem painful now, or it might seem it might not make sense right now to start saving, but the time is now to start saving, especially for those who are maybe watching that are 16, 17, 18 years old, even younger. I mean, the younger you start saving, the better off you're going to be in the long run. And the longer you have for your money to work for you. Money and time and interest rates makes more money. Well, except 2008. But in the long run, time and compounding interest always wins. So even if you're 30 and don't have any savings, you just start now, you can still catch up. You're not going to be as well off as if you would have started when you were 20, but you're going to be better off as if you before you started when you were 40 or never even started. Whether that's socking money away in just a regular savings account at your local bank, getting one of those apps like I told you, and kind of socking away money for that, or signing up for an IRA and letting them take $100 a month. And there are annual limitations to IRAs, but putting something away is better than nothing. And I think that's important to note, that this is where we should be in our lives right now, is saving for the future and trying to put away for their future. Because like we'd said, you never know where we're going to be in the future. And so that's why it's important. And just kind of a side note, if you start saving a lot of money, especially if you have it in IRAs or 401ks, and you start to get a nice little nest egg built in there, if you're nowhere close to retirement, which most of us aren't, don't really get caught up in the price swings of what the market's doing. In the past 2 years, even more since President Trump got on board, stock market's been going crazy. My 401k has been up between 25 and 30% in any given fund, which is great growth. But we've had such high growth that I see it's probably going to come down. It's going to have to do some sort of, and I'm not an expert here, it's going to have to reset eventually. So, I mean, you're going to have crazy high peaks, and then it's going to dip, and then it can climb back up. So don't really get concerned about the dips. A lot of people lost a lot of money when the 2008 global financial crisis hit. I mean, some 401ks dropped 50 or 60% in that critical time period between late 2007 to early 2009. But in the subsequent years right after that, people made, I'm going to lie to you because I don't have the numbers in front of me, but if they would have stayed put and not made any changes and taken any paper losses, they could have probably well made their money back and probably doubled it. But don't quote me on that. I don't have any numbers in front of me. But all right, I'm kind of running along on this one. But like I said, let's think about saving money. Whether it's Christmas coming up, you got about probably 7 weeks, to start saving a little money for the Christmas gifts, so you don't maybe get out of control, and set a budget and think about what we want to save for. Or maybe we're saving for a new car, we're saving for college, saving for house down payment, renovations, whatever. There could be a million savings goals out there. It's all going to depend what you're looking for. But like I said, you should focus on saving, and hopefully in the future I can come out with some other videos on specific savings patterns. But this is kind of where we're at. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I hope to have more of these videos in the coming days and weeks. I'm starting to kind of get more ideas on getting some of these videos out there, and I hope you like them all. And thanks again for watching. Have a good night.